I know one of my close friends, bzargoodboy, link in the description, is a musician. Well, a musician is the formal term. He's a rapper if we go about it informally. He has a very decent discography, if I do say so myself, with crazy songs from early 2018 all the way to early 2021. He hasn't really been inconsistent in any way. Now, before we get into the main focus of this video essay, let me talk about Bzar for a bit. Even though I do think he is a dickhead at some times and loves talking, even more so than DJ Dax, he's honestly one of the most interesting characters I've ever met. I don't think there's anyone quite like Bzar, and that anyone who seems similar to him is most likely a clone. That being said, he is still a dickhead and starts the most menial problems over the most baseless claims. Say my voice is fake one more time and see what happens, you fucking dickhead. Now on to the qualities of his music. I can only describe his music as a derivative of Playboi Carti and only loosely. People have compared him to Nav, and while that can be argued because he reuses melodies here and there, I do think Bzar is somewhat of a solo runner in the style of music he goes for. That being said, I also think his music's biggest detriment is the infrequency of his releases and questionable mixing practices. Now let's get on with my first rating of Bzar, his hooks. I think Bzar has some of the best hooks amongst all the rappers I've listened to. I think he peaks over DJ Dax and Big Lax in terms of how memorable and catchy they are. My personal favorite hook is from Ashley, where Bzar is featured as the hook. Now while Big Lax has a verse, that's all I can really say, because to be fairly honest, Bzar's hook is what carries the song. If I had to rate it from an S to F tier, I would give it an A++ or an S-. Now on to the second aspect of his music I find noteworthy, his lyrics. Besides his hooks, they're decently forgettable. If you ask me to name a Bzar lyric outside of his hooks, you'd probably have me stuck. It seems like his skill in hooks is so great that it subtracts from his ability to actually rap, or have his verses be memorable. Now his verses aren't bad, I just don't think that they're great either. I find his songs where he has a verse to be fairly decent, with the best part being the hook. If I had to rate it, I would give it a C tier, it could be better. Now, I actually had a debate with Jaywalk about this, where Jaywalk said that Bzar's verses are pretty good, it's just that his hooks are out of this world, which I can agree with. But I also think that since his hooks are so good, he should also get his verses up a bit too. But Bzar's Bzar, he's a creative. Like, I can't tell a creative how to do something. That's the equivalent of slavery. Let Bzar do what he wants. And now to the meat and fucking bones of this review, his fucking mixing. His mixing could be a hit or miss because he hates when other people mix his vocals, and whenever he mixes his own, he either makes it muffled under the beat, makes himself muffled over the beat, sounds like the song is being played through a sock, or it sounds good. Due to this stark contrast of quality throughout his discography, I cannot give each of his songs a decent review. I do believe that if he were to make his mixing consistent, his music would be overall better. If I had to rate it, I would give it a C-. Now let's get to what I'm really here to talk about. The dichotomy between Bands by Lil Jaywalk and Cortana by bzargoodboy. If Bands feels like extravagant contentness, then Cortana feels like braggadocious melancholy. Bands is euphoric happiness even in the face of hurdles, while Cortana feels like, even though Bzar knows his worth, he's actually completely self-aware of the limits he has with his music. That he's scared of the possibility of not having music work out for him, that all the effort he's put into his passion, for all the blood, sweat, and tears he shed, it might not amount to anything. That's beautiful in a sense. I may disagree with Bzar in some cases, but most of the time, I love the narratives in his music. He manages to translate an incomprehensible emotion into palatable information and make it sound good. I listened to both songs on release, and at first, Bands was the song I loved. It's the perfect song for when you're going about your day. That happiness that drives you along even though money may be tight. That everything is gonna be fine, the bands haven't come in yet. But when it got late at night, and the drinks started coming in, Bzar's Cortana resonated with me more. I found myself finding some sort of seldom solace in the concept of it, that Bzar also feels some similar emotions to the ones that I do. I think that's what makes music great. How much an artist can resonate with you, how much you can see yourself in the artist, and how much the artist can see himself in his audience. Now while Bzar's music might be a hit or miss for some, never underestimate his vision as an artist. Bzar, from me to you, from Camo God to bzargoodboy, thank you for this song.
All them chances I was taking gave me payments. All them nights alone up in the studio writing about my ex bitch. Man, they gave me more than ventilation. Man, they gave me more than medication. I ain't do no meditating, I was waiting. Cause that past shit put me on some bad shit, but at the same time put me on a path of greatness. You can't mistake it. I don't wanna live a life where I'm not famous. I don't wanna be alive if I don't make it. I'm scared to face it. You ain't got a lot of kick it, you ain't gotta fake it. Knew you wasn't down from the jump and you was snaking. I done cut the grass so low you can't